Hello, my little woolies. To me, September is like a new start, the beginning of my favorite time of the year. This is why I think that the long, hot days of summer are the perfect time to get organized, planned, and set up systems and goals for the autumn or fall in American. I know that many of you knit just for fun, but some knit for charity, for gifts or presents for your loved ones, and for others, it's an important source of income. In today's tutorial, I'm going to give you my best tips to increase your productivity, get organized, and knit faster. Let's get started. Tip number 1. Knit no matter how little time you have. We're used to the mantra, I don't have time, and the truth is that we decide subconsciously not to have time to do certain things. In reality, we choose to do something different with the same time. So, use your time on your commute, in the waiting room, watching your favorite series, or even at the end of the day. It's better to knit 4 rows than not to knit at all. And to be successful, tip number 2. Block time on your calendar and use the Pomodoro method. For some of us, if it's not in our calendar, it doesn't exist. So, time blocking is key. And to help you out, you can use the Pomodoro app and set any number of minutes, let's say for example 20 minutes, and focus on knitting only. You can download a free app for your tablet, desktop, or cell phone. Or you can even get it on a website. This tutorial is sponsored by Skillshare, as earlier this year I realized that I needed to use my time more efficiently. And so I decided to take a class called Principles and Tools to Boost Your Productivity on Skillshare. And today I'm delighted to share with you some of the lessons I learned as they apply to knitting. Skillshare was simply the best option for me. I like it because it's the largest online learning community by creatives for creatives with thousands of classes. They have something unique called Learning Paths, sequential class collections to master a specific skill or hobby, so you can learn at your own pace and even repeat lessons if needed. Skillshare offers anything from art and illustration, crafts and DIY, design, marketing and business, photography, film and video, among a myriad of other topics. So, if you're interested in leveling up and improving your skill set, I have something special for you. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. Remember, there is no time like the present to plan for your future. Let's continue with tip number 3. When knitting a big project, break it into smaller tasks. For example, knitting a sweater or a blanket is huge. It's not a task. A task is something immediately actionable. So break it down in pieces: the back, the front, the sleeves, the neckband, blocking, seaming and weaving in the ends, etc. Which brings me to the next tip. Tip number 4. Set small goals. Honestly, I'm not a fan of goals per se, for different reasons, but establishing a system that allows you to take control is a powerful motivator. You could give yourself a week to finish one sleeve, 2 weeks for the back, and so on. Seeing your progress over time is very rewarding. Tip number 5. Have fun. Productivity is important, and having fun is another essential ingredient for success. So I like to have several projects at different stages. It allows me to choose, according to my available time and preference on that day, exactly what I most enjoy. It could be starting the neckline or just knitting straight before or after the decrease section of a project. It's up to you, but have fun. Tip number 6. Keep all tools on hand. Organize your needles by size and your stash by weight or quality. Use a bag or basket with all your tools: markers, scissors, measurement tape, darning needle, crochet hook, cable needle, etc. You can bring this bag anywhere you go. Tip number 7. Before starting a project, knit a gauge swatch. Think about it. It's better to take 20 minutes to knit a 4 by 4 inches square and measure it properly rather than spending 2, 3, or more hours knitting just to find out that the back of your sweater is 1/3 bigger than the intended size. Tip number 8. Avoid tiny needles and fine yarn. Unless you are knitting a special shawl, like this, socks, or gloves. Choose a yarn and needle size you feel comfortable with, and remember, if you are knitting with fussy, fancy, or frustrating yarn, the stockinette stitch is the best option for you. Tip number 9. Complete your row or round. Before leaving your knit work, finish the row or round you are working on. If it's not possible, at least complete the repeat, what's between asterisks in the written instructions. Never leave the knit work before a repeat is complete, and always write down where you stopped and your next step. Tip number 10. Use markers. Markers are not only perfect to show us when something different needs to be done, like the beginning of a round, increases, decreases, the change of a stitch pattern, etc. They are also useful when you need to cast on many stitches, let's say 80, 100, 130. When casting on, place a marker every 20 stitches so you don't need to keep counting. So this is everything for today, my little woolly. I hope it helps. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and happy knitting!